we dive into one of the biggest paradoxes of our time. Why does Africa remain poor even though it is one of the richest continents in natural resources? Africa is blessed with unimaginable wealth, from gold, diamonds, and oil to fertile soil and rare minerals like cobalt, coltan, and lithium, the very resources that power smartphones, laptops, and electric cars. On paper, Africa should be one of the wealthiest continents in the world. But when we look at the lives of ordinary Africans, the story is the opposite. Poverty, hunger, and inequality dominate the continent. This is not a coincidence. It is the result of history, corruption, exploitation, and failed systems. Africa holds over 30% of the world's mineral resources. The Democratic Republic of Congo alone provides nearly 70% of the world's cobalt, essential for batteries and technology. Nigeria and Angola produce millions of barrels of oil every day. South Africa is home to some of the richest gold and diamond mines on Earth. Ethiopia, Kenya, and Uganda possess fertile lands capable of feeding not just Africa, but large parts of the world. Yet despite this abundance, more than 400 million Africans live below the poverty line. This contradiction is often called the African paradox. One of the biggest reasons behind Africa's poverty is colonial history. For centuries, European powers drained Africa of its wealth. They looted gold from Ghana, diamonds from South Africa, rubber from Congo, and slaves from West Africa. Colonizers drew artificial borders in Berlin in 1884, dividing Africa without considering its people, cultures, or tribes. These borders later became sources of endless conflicts and civil wars. When independence came in the mid-20th century, Africa inherited weak institutions, broken economies, and dependence on Europe. Even after independence, many former colonial powers maintained economic control, a system known as neo-colonialism. Resources continued to leave Africa, while poverty remained. Take Congo as an example. During Belgian rule, Congo's rubber and ivory enriched Europe, while millions of Congolese died under brutal exploitation. Even today, Congo is rich in cobalt and coltan, but foreign companies dominate its mining sector, leaving ordinary citizens in misery. Another major factor is corruption and weak governance. Africa loses billions of dollars every year to corruption. Leaders in some countries enrich themselves, while their people lack basic services like clean water, electricity, and schools. Money that should build hospitals and roads often ends up in private bank accounts overseas. Nigeria, for example, is one of the top oil producers in the world. Yet millions of Nigerians live without electricity or clean drinking water. Why? Because oil revenues are mismanaged and corruption has eaten deep into the system. When governments fail to invest in their people through education, healthcare, and infrastructure, poverty becomes permanent. Africa's resources are still largely controlled by outsiders. Multinational corporations from the West, China, and other regions dominate mining, oil, and gas. They take raw materials at low prices, process them abroad, and sell finished goods back to Africa at high costs. Zambia, for instance, is one of the largest copper producers in the world, but much of its copper wealth benefits foreign companies. Meanwhile, Zambia struggles with debt and poverty. Sierra Leone is known for its diamonds, but for decades, locals saw little benefit while foreign companies grew rich. This phenomenon is called the resource curse, when nations rich in natural resources often suffer from corruption, exploitation, and conflict instead of prosperity. Another factor is the debt trap. Many African countries borrow billions from foreign lenders. They spend years repaying interest, sometimes paying back more than they borrowed. This leaves little money for development. Unfair trade makes it worse. Africa exports raw cocoa, coffee, and cotton cheaply. But when these are processed into chocolate, clothes, or other products, Africans must import them back at much higher prices. This unequal system keeps Africa dependent and poor. Instability also plays a role. Civil wars, terrorism, coups, and political conflicts destroy economies. In countries like Sudan, Somalia, and the Central African Republic, endless fighting has left millions in poverty. Climate change adds another challenge. Droughts, floods, and desertification threaten farmers across Africa. Countries that depend on agriculture find themselves vulnerable when crops fail. The result is devastating. Millions of African children suffer from malnutrition. Families struggle to survive on less than $2 a day. Farmers work hard but earn very little. Meanwhile, billions of dollars leave Africa every year through resource extraction, corruption, and debt repayment. Young Africans, full of dreams, often feel forced to migrate. Many risk their lives crossing deserts and seas, hoping for a better future in Europe or elsewhere. But Africa's story is not only about suffering. It is also about resilience, creativity, and hope. Across the continent, young people are leading change. In Kenya, the tech hub known as Silicon Savannah is producing world-class startups. In Rwanda, strong leadership has rebuilt the nation after genocide. In Ghana, democracy is growing stronger. In Ethiopia and Nigeria, young activists are fighting corruption and demanding accountability. Africa also has the world's youngest population. Over 60% of Africans are under the age of 25. This youth, if empowered with education and opportunities, can transform the continent into a global power. So, why does Africa remain poor despite its rich resources? Because of colonial history, corruption, foreign exploitation, debt, instability, and climate change. But the real question is, when will Africa's wealth finally benefit Africans themselves? The answer depends on leadership, unity, and the courage of Africa's people. If Africans rise together, fight corruption, manage their resources wisely, and demand fair trade, the future will be bright. Africa does not lack wealth. It lacks justice, good governance, and unity. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories.